Hi, Scorpio. I hope you're having a great month. We're in the month of September, the second week, and you are getting close to your birthday, Scorpio. So I know it's been a while since I've done a reading for you, but lately I have had a few requests about doing readings for different signs, and yours was one of them. So here I am, and I'm really looking forward to connect with your energy. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my video, and I really hope that whatever messages are being offered here can really help you find the clarity and the peace of mind that you deserve. Just keep in mind that this is a very overall reading, and I may not describe the situation that you are dealing with. However, the messages, you can shape them a little bit to your benefit and hopefully get something out of it. So let's begin, Scorpio. So in this cycle, the number that is opening the reading is 85. And it talks about following your dreams. Are you following your dreams, Scorpio? Are you really making an effort right now to finally go after the things that really matter to you? Because here with this card, I'm hearing that there's been moments where you've really doubted yourself, where you really didn't think that you would ever be capable to get there. But now from where you're standing, you're starting to see that maybe there is an opportunity. You have yet to be clear as to which path to take and how it is that you're going to fulfill it. But at least you're definitely more clear about what you want and also about what you do not want. And it's unfortunate because sometimes, Scorpio, in order for us to know what we want, we have to create situations that we don't want. And this is where this saying comes. Give me a minute. I'll get there. You don't know what you have until you lose it. There you go. You got to forgive me. I've been doing videos in Spanish and English. And unfortunately, YouTube is taking forever to download these videos. And unfortunately, sometimes my computer doesn't behave in the way that I like to. So hang in there with me. So there's this saying that sometimes in order for us to appreciate what we have to lose it. Because apparently when we have it, we don't recognize how good it is. And normally we do when we have another experience that is totally opposite to the one we had before. And we can then compare personalities and compare situations and realize, oh my God, I had it so good, but now I don't have it anymore. So here, when I look at the number 85 in numerology that says follow your dreams, and I bring those numbers into row, I only use major arcanas, Scorpio. I had to add 8 plus 5, and that is 13, and there is the card of death. Uh-oh. And when I add 1 plus 3 is 4, and here is the Emperor. And these cards come like this. And right away when I see this, Scorpio, I think, okay, what is going through your mind? Because if there are endings right now in your life of situations with people that you really care about, this is not going to feel good. This is going to cause some grieving and pain. This realization of something ending, Scorpio, doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It does take time. But when it gets into our life, there's no denial that it's there. And right now, I should say that in this cycle, a lot of you have this in your head, you're analyzing, you're trying to figure this out. What happened? What happened? I also wanted to clarify these cards just to be sure that I was coming from the right place. And the card that came out right away was the Hermit. And this Hermit, right, has the Wheel of Fortune right behind it. And it's telling me that because it's facing to the past, cannot see the options and opportunities that are being presented to help find the clarity or the decision, with justice here, of how to handle a situation here with a person that is showing up as a woman. And I'm going to say that whoever this person is, Scorpio, it's not just anyone, because this is a person that is very, very spiritual. They're being described as the unicorn and the gazelle. This is someone who have done the dirty work to get to this place of this level of sensitivity to the realm of energy. So you're not just dealing with anyone. And no wonder you would be struggling during this moment about the situation. No wonder you would be grieving if this stopped completely, abruptly. I think that's how it's said. And you haven't been able to do anything about it because trust has been lost, or whatever it is. Something was lost, definitely. When I see here death, it means about losing something that we value and something that we care. The same way, Scorpio, that happens when we lose a family member. The forces that are illuminating this energy, they follow your dreams, because it's kind of ironic, right? The cards are saying, hey, follow your dreams. What dreams? Are you clear about what you want in life? Sometimes we're not, Scorpio. And sometimes we need situations like this to shake us up and to wake up and smell the coffee and start realizing that, you know what, life is short. And we have many opportunities, but if we are blind to those opportunities because we're so caught up in our ego, and then we miss them. And then when we don't have them, we're crying misery. We're crying wolf because, oh my God. And now what? Now what do I do? So here it's interesting because this is a time where the energy of the sun, which we know represents clarity, represents expansion, is illuminating the fourth house, the house of Cancer. Cancer normally is ruled by the moon, but in this case is here with the sun. And I'm going to take the liberty to say, Scorpio, that you're going through one of those moments that you will not be able to run away from your own emotions. This is a very emotional time. And this is one of those moments where the sun is making sure that you get to see all of those areas of your heart that you haven't seen for a long time. And finally, face your insecurities. Because we know that Cancer is all about our values. What beliefs do we have? What are the things that we consider valuable about ourselves? And a lot of times, those beliefs are based on things that we've learned that are not necessarily true. They may work for some people, but may not work for us. And we use them, even though they're not working for us. And then we go on with our life and we realize that, you know, the things that we really want to achieve, we're not. So then we have to do something. Normally, our tendency, Scorpio, is to blame other people. We don't want to take responsibility. And it's not because it's your fault. It's because you've been taught to behave that way. And there are people, we have to be honest, there are people that grow old and die and they never get to realize that a lot of the reasons why they struggle in life is because it was self-induced. But thank God that right now our planet is being illuminated and bombarded with all kinds of information, methods and practices that can allow us to remove our own limitations, our own ignorance. So there's no excuse right now to say, oh, I don't have what it takes. Here you have the energy in this reading of Jupiter and Sagittarius telling me that you do, that you're getting the inspiration. But to receive that inspiration, Scorpio, you have to be in the right state of mind. Because every time you do not feel good and every time you're worried and you are depressed and you are sad and you are upset, your body does not function in the way that it's meant to. And you do not have the capacity to be open and receptive to the information that can assist you to know what to do. And one of the things that I know Scorpios do or have a tendency to do is to sometimes you get so stuck in your own world and your own head and in your own reality that you think that that's all exists. And that's one of the things we do when we are in that state of mind. When we get too overly focused in a situation, that everything else stops. But it's not because it stops, because it really stops existing. It's because you don't see it. You don't have the opportunity to see it. So here, you are being illuminated to give light to all of those aspects of yourselves. Oh, sorry guys. I'm gonna hang this up. This is something that happens a lot when I'm doing these videos. People want to call and they want to talk. And I wish that I can find a way to disconnect this, but you gotta forgive me. Anyways, let's continue. So here is saying, look, you have to make an effort. Make an effort and dig deeper within yourself and find those beliefs that you have that are making you behave in a particular way that is not beneficial to you, nor beneficial to others, because now it's making you lose people that you care about. And sometimes we make this mistake and think that people that care for us are always going to be there and they're going to put up with our shit, and it doesn't happen that way. Those people, they get tired too, Scorpio. So here is saying, look, one of the things you could do during this time, when things seem uncertain and you're in the face of death, is that what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and just cry wolf and feel sorry for yourself? Well, you're allowed to do that. But you can do other things. And here the next card is saying spirituality. And it comes with the 7-7. The number is being repeated, emphasizing this. And I always said that number 7 is a very dynamic number. And it means that when we are learning new things that relates to the spiritual side of who we are, it helps us accelerate the process of change in a good way, in a very good way. So with 77, when I look at the cards that are representing this energy in Tarot, we have Temperance, Ooh, Temperance. And Temperance is an energy, Scorpio, that the Emperor usually don't have. When we are thinking like a man, because remember, we represent both energies, the feminine and the masculine. When we are approaching our lives from that archetype, that masculine archetype, we're not patient. We're not very patient. We want things and we want them now. And that's why sometimes with this energy, right, I could see the aggression and the manipulation of the Emperor. The Empress has that nature too, depending on the nature of the card. But here is telling me that sometimes the Emperor can respond in a very aggressive way, very rude, but that's because he's hiding something. And normally it's his own feelings, his own emotions. So here, the next card is telling me, well, with spirituality, most likely that this situation has been presented as a form of you learning something very valuable that is going to help you change the nature of sometimes your own beliefs. And it's going to teach you about the energy of temperance, because as you could see, gosh, everything in life requires us a level of patience. Because a lot of times, Scorpio, we don't have all the information of all the elements that are involved in every situation. We only know our part. So then we have to learn how to sometimes use that equanimity to work through a challenge, especially when we're talking to other people. So here it tells me that whatever situation you're going through with this person, it's teaching you a very good lesson, a lesson that you're not going to forget. And the forces that are working here with this spirituality is the moon with Leo. And we know that the house of Leo represents our heart's desires, our dreams. Interesting how everything's connecting now, right? And this house is being illuminated by the moon. And when we talk about the moon, right away we talk about the feminine. Cycles in nature, cycles of the moon, where the energy changes in different ways, right? And there are times when the energy is full, and there are times when the energy wanes, and we have to honor and respect those changes. So, in other words, it's telling you that this is a time where you really need to respect the process and not rush anything. This is not a time for you to act prematurely just because you do not want to feel the discomfort that you're feeling from the loss. This is a time for you to learn the lesson that the universe is trying to teach you here. And with the moon, it's a time for you to nurture yourself in a loving way and tell yourself, okay, what am I getting from this? What are the things that I can do to change within myself and get it and do it? And by practicing this, I'm going to demonstrate that I can do it, and then I'm going to do it with everybody else. Very important time, and this is something that requires patience. You cannot rush this, because this is telling you not everything that you're feeling right now is going to be the same things that you're going to feel tomorrow or a week from now or a month from now. So you can't rush the lesson. You have to honor the process of your emotions and be very, very honest in how you feel. And understand that there are moments that you're going to feel resentful. There are moments where you're going to feel angry. There are moments that you're going to feel disappointment. But it's not because of the way that person is behaving. It's because of what you have done to yourself. So then the next energy comes, and this is when we can soothe ourselves a little bit, and it comes with the energy of compassion. And once again, we have number 99, so it repeats itself. And this is an energy that can help you heal. So now Spirit is saying, I know you know about what this means, but you need to go deeper. You need to do your homework and learn a little bit about more of this energy, what this energy represents for you, and how it is that you can use it to your advantage. With this number, the celestial bodies that are here is Jupiter, beautiful energy, illuminating the house of Sagittarius, wonderful. And Sagittarius is telling you, look ahead. Here with this number, Scorpio, you're looking back because you're coming across as the Hermit with this moon in your head and you're looking back. So here, these forces are saying, look ahead, stop looking back. What is done, and your moment of power is now. But look forward to what's to come. And the only way that you can do that is by being present, by forgiving yourself, by loving yourself more, by honoring that, well, sometimes we don't understand things until we make a few choices that hurt, and then we get it. I mean, Jesus Christ. I can relate to this, Scorpio. To be kind to yourself and compassionate to yourself, because there is a lot here to learn. It's almost like you're going through a process of refining your energy. There is an expansion taking place here for you. And a lot of times, they can come this way when we feel that we have lost everything of value. That's one of the ways, in the way that sometimes we can assist each other. And here, I can see that you, in some ways, are now realizing, God, if I would have done that differently. But, you're a different person now than you were before. So now the universe says, hey, we've come this far. So we have an idea of what's going on here. What is the dynamic for Scorpio? And there are things that you could do. So let's say, Scorpio, that you do want to go after your dreams and you're ready to start the path of the Fool, right? So we know that in order for the Fool to take a leap of faith, it has to let go of emotions that are dense, that are heavy. It has to come to terms with his own shadow side, right? And release it. Comes to a place of trust. Doesn't know all the options, but is going to trust his intuition. And for a moment here, before this Fool takes the jump, looks back. And it looks back not to get stuck in what happened in the past, but for a moment, feel the gratitude of all those lessons and for the things that it has learned. And because now it has transformed those emotions into higher lessons that can use in the future, to not take anything for granted and to not have to go through this process of knowing what you really have until you lose it. And as you do that, Scorpio, you move into the energy of strength. In other words, that everything that we learn, especially those lessons that are heartfelt and difficult, they teach us about our own power, our own determinations. Because now it's like I'm determined to do it better next time and to not make the same choices that I made before. Because you know the price that you have to pay for those choices. And we also learn that sometimes our mind is not our best friend. And that can get us in places that are not necessarily healthy for us. So we have to find ways in how to tame that mind and make our ego our best friend. And when we do that, Scorpio, now we find clarity. And look at that card of clarity, the sun. And I'll tell you, my friends, there's nothing more delicious than to be clear, especially in those moments where they're life-changing. Because sometimes it could happen with something very insignificant. But it's crucial. And if you're not paying attention because you're too caught up in what happened years ago, in the trauma, and the things that you cannot resolve anymore, you miss this. You miss your plane. So here, the clarity only comes when we cultivate the present moment. Ironic, right? Because we have a mind that can remember things and has a tendency to either be in the future or in the past. It has a very difficult time being in the present, in a state of mind where it's the most effective and it's the most challenging. So here, as you could see, these are things that you have to cultivate in your life and be like a soldier to get the results that you desire, that ultimately, here comes the Wheel of Fortune. And as you can see, this is a fabulous card that represents abundance, because ultimately, that's what we want to align ourselves to, abundance. And the card of Justice, the universe helping us and aligning things to our benefit. Just wait 1 second, I have the door knocking. Okay. I am so sorry, guys, but somebody was knocking on the door. It was the mail, and here I'm back. I don't like interruptions because it really takes the inspiration away. But unfortunately, sometimes this happens. And I noticed that as much as I try to ignore things when I'm doing these videos, that is when I get the most interruptions. But, you know, I have to go with the flow. So basically, the universe is saying here, look, if you decide to follow this, you know, this path, where all of these suggestions that are given, you keep them in mind, ultimately will bring you to the right place, to the right emotional place. Now, I am not necessarily saying that this is how you're going to gain this person back. All I'm saying is that this is what's going to assist you to regain harmony again in your life, regain the balance, regain the clarity that is so important in our lives when we are going through times like this, especially if you're determined to follow your dream, if you're determined to make your goals come true. And whatever those are, you know it better than anybody. But we have to understand the nature of energy, because everything in our reality, Scorpio, ultimately, you have to turn it into energy. Everything is energy. So I know I'm one of those people that I'm always talking about energy. I use that word so much. People say, you're the energy person. Yes, I am. Because to me, everything, our emotions, our thoughts, our reality is all energy. So I've learned to translate everything like that, and realizing that there are vibrations that are better than others. It's so important when it comes to being able to be in a frequency of energy that allows me to connect to what I want. So to me, it's very important. Now, the person that you're dealing with here, when I look at this person, I could see why you are having such a difficult time. You're feeling their loss. And it's because they come as somebody who's very spiritual. Now, it just occurred to me to think that maybe some of you are really lost someone, that is not just the connection, but maybe somebody passed away and you're going through this process of mourning. But whatever situation may be, I see here someone who's very spiritual, somebody who's very graceful, and somebody who definitely did their homework when it comes to their spiritual stuff, to their, working through their stuff. So, no wonder you may feel like, oh my God, this is one of a kind person. Although we all are one of a kind, Scorpio. But, people like this are difficult to find. So when we find someone, we always want to make sure to have them in our lives. And one of the things that Scorpio also is challenged with is with the letting go. You guys have always a very difficult time letting go of things. You like to hold on to things. So I can imagine when something like this happens, of something that you value very much, how difficult it may be for you. But here I think the most important is for you to learn your lesson. And there is a lesson here that's being taught. I'm not saying that this person is teaching you a lesson, okay? I'm just saying that there is a lesson here being learned that requires your attention, requires your compassion. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense, Scorpio. And that's all I have for you, my friends. And I apologize for the interruption, but I feel like this is plenty for you to chew on. And before you respond or before you judge, sit with that. Because although you may think, oh, this has nothing to do with my life, I feel like there may be, otherwise I wouldn't be here, especially if you stay until the end of the video. A lot of times I do reading for people where they look at me like, I don't know what you're talking about, that's not that way. And then they call me later and they say, you were right on the spot. So I feel like you're being directed in a particular way to address something so that you can attain something. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope all the best for you.